Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Ultimate Ironman. For the last couple of videos, we've been doing Slayer, and last video specifically, we had a Grotesque Guardians task, and from that task, they dropped Dragon Dart tips, which is something I decided to hold on to because we actually need that as one of the requirements for the Desert Elite Diary. You need to fletch Dragon Dart tips at the Bedouin camp, which requires 95 fletching, which means we can get 91 fletching and then get a guaranteed boost with the Dragon Fruit Pie to 95 fletching so we can get that task done. There's a few reasons why I'm choosing to do this now rather than waiting. Because if we get a Cowfight Queen task, that's kind of the main thing holding us back from doing the diary, because you have to get the Cowfight Queen head. So if we did get that, I wouldn't want to just stop in the middle of the task and put everything down and start skilling. I'd rather have all the skilling grinds done out of the way beforehand. Another reason is so that way we can free up the slot that's being filled up with the Dragon Dart tips right here. Because this would be a little bit annoying to get. It's not too big of a deal, but I specifically held on to it because I didn't want to have to worry about it later. And then we could also free up the slot with the U-Lugs that we've been holding on to for a very long time. And then the only other requirement that we're missing for not only the Desert Diary, but I think for the whole entire Diary Cape, I think the only other thing we're missing is 85 Prayer. And luckily, Fletching and Prayer go hand in hand, at least for a UIM, because we could train Fletching while we're in Pest Control. A lot of you probably know Pest Control as the place where you get Void, but instead of trading in Pest points for Void, you could trade them in for Combat XP as well. And the XP per point scales based on the level and which skill it is. So let me actually pull up the wiki and this useful calculator as well. So on the wiki, you could see based on what level it is, we're just gonna look at the prayer column, which you can see prayer is a lot less XP than other skills, which I guess kind of makes sense. But we are 81 prayer, almost 82 at the moment. So right now per point, we get 180, but very soon we would be getting 198 XP per point. But you get extra XP as well when you trade in 10 points at a time, and even more when you trade in 100 points at a time. And pretty much you only ever turn in 100 points at a time unless you're like right at the end of your grind and you're just turning in the last extra points. So I guess you could add like 10% XP onto all of these. Luckily, I don't have to do the math myself for this because I know how to use Google. So I Googled OSRS Pest Control Calculator and found this right here. So all you do is enter in your username, enter in your target level. So for, where is it, prayer, we put in 85 there, and then it'll tell you over here how many pest points that you need. And this calculator does assume that you're turning in 100 points at a time and then scaling down to 10 points and then 1 point where need be. And it also takes into account actually leveling up and how the XP scales as you level up while turning in your points. So as you can see, we need 4,071 pest points to get to 85 prayer. For those of you that didn't know, I had a hardcore Ironman Road to Max series a long time ago, and the goal of that series was to max as fast as possible. And needless to say, I spent a lot of time at Pest Control, like 36,000 points of pest points at Pest Control, which is like almost 300 hours there. What I'm trying to say is I have a lot of experience at Pest Control, and I already know these numbers beforehand, so I could just tell you what to expect. So it's going to be 135 points per hour on average, which means just the time at Pest Control itself is going to take just over 30 hours to do. Just for reference, this is going to be the equivalent of getting 3 full Void sets, including all 3 helmets, 3 times. And still having to get some more points too at the end also. So with that being said, we're going to fight Hespori. It's a very tough boss, but I try to get my daily XP in, even though I have not beaten it for a long time. But after this very difficult fight, I'll show you how we're going to be training Fletching. Okay, so in Hespori here, you can see we have 13.5 thousand U-Lugs. We got all these a long time ago for Mole and Zora. I think the majority of it has been for Mole though, but we do not need this many to get to 91 fletching. I did the math, and overall, each log is going to come out to about 850 fletching XP by making broad arrows out of them. I hope that math is right. I guess we'll find out by the end of the video if that's wrong, but according to that calculation, we should need like about 5,000. I think it's like 4,950 U-Logs or something, so we'll just say 5k. That'll be a nice even number, and this is all we need. I'm just going to go teleport home, grab a knife, and we're going to start cutting 5,000 U-Logs into arrow shafts. And you get 75 arrow shafts per U-Log. Unfortunately, we can't do this part while doing Pest Control because we have to unnote the logs on a bank chest, and then we're just going to stand here and cut them. But after we finish cutting all these arrow shafts, then we could buy all the things we need and then head into Pest Control. Looking at the high scores here, Fletching has been the lowest level and the worst ranked skill on this account for so long, and because of that, I haven't done Tears of Gothics because I just felt like it was never worth the time if it was going to be going into Fletching. But very soon here, once we get a few more levels, I could finally start doing Tears of Gothics again and save a little bit of Pest points so we can get prayer done a little bit faster. But we're starting at rank 834 for Fletching, and it'll be interesting to see where we end up at. I'm not going to look at the high scores though because I want to keep it a surprise for me. I made sure to reset the prayer and the Fletching XP, so I'll just keep this up here in the corner, and then as time goes on, we'll see the XP go up and up for Fletching. Literally every single day when it rolls over to midnight and I relog, I always have been getting this message every single day. So it'll be nice to finally start doing Tears again so I can stop getting yelled at by the game. Alright, we got the first Fletching level coming in already just from cutting the logs into the arrow shafts. We're almost done though. There's 5,000 U logs cut into arrow shafts now. That took about 4, maybe 5 hours to do, but now we need to get some GP out so we can start buying the feathers and the broad arrowheads. I just picked up this 6 mil GP stack from Hispori. That's everything we've made from Slayer, and then in Nightmare Zone we have 28 mil in here. Okay, so put all this in here very quickly, and then we'll take out, I guess exactly 30 mil. That'll be really easy to remember, so there we go. It's a beautiful, beautiful cash stack, and we're going to be saying goodbye to a good portion of it. We'll start with buying the feathers first, and I was looking on the wiki. Apparently the fishing guild looks like it'll be the best place to buy them. I don't know if that's true or not, but it has the highest number of feather packs in stock, 150, so let's get started. This will probably actually take quite a bit of time. And all 375,000 feathers are bought. That took about 40 minutes to buy. We spent about 950k, and that comes out to an average of about 2.5 GP per feather. Here's the part I'm not really exactly looking forward to doing. The next thing we have to buy is the broad arrowheads. The packs of 100 cost 5.5k. So I guess it'll come out to probably like maybe 60 GP per arrowhead. Whereas the feathers were only 2.5, so kind of hurts a bit, but yeah, we gotta do it. Oh yeah, and I ended up buying 3 inventories of feathers per world too. Okay, and there's all the broad arrowheads bought, 375,000 of all these materials that we need to make the broad arrows. It took about 40 minutes as well to buy the broad arrowheads. So now that everything is bought and we don't have to spend any more money, we can do some math here. As you can see, we spent 22 million GP, and divide that by the amount of XP we're going to be gaining, which is 4,215,692. I think that's what it was. So if we press enter, that is about 5.22 GP per XP doing this broad arrows method. 22 million GP for 91 Fletching. It's not too bad, not too bad. 8 mil left over. And I think we might still have like a mil or two in the servant's money bag. We've got 1.4 mil in here. So I'm gonna go put this money back in Nightmare Zone and then get geared up for pest control. I guess I'll just be wearing my Elite Void while I'm there, which is probably something you don't see too often, people at pest control wearing Elite Void, since that's usually what people are there for. It's also very, very easy to get to pest control nowadays. If you're at least 40 combat, all you have to do is go to the minigames tab, go to pest control, and there's a teleport that takes you right there, and that is not my Zora pet. Before we hop to the pest control world, I'll just quickly show you how making the headless arrows works. That's the first step. We make the headless arrows, which gives a little bit of XP, but not that much. It's actually making the headless arrows into the broad arrows. That's what gives the bulk of the XP. But you can't really be interrupted while doing this. Like if I run, it's just going to stop it, but I can do it while I'm running. But if a monster attacks me, that's also going to stop the fletching. We can take a look at the scoreboard here too. You can see we've done 679 games on the Veteran Lander at Pest Control, and then a couple others just for the diaries. We've got 4,000 points to gain, 30 hours of prayer, plus all the fletching on top of it too, so let's get started. And you can see that guy right there has the same idea. They added the fletching animation like maybe 6 months ago, or maybe it was a year ago or something. Before there used to be no animation when you were fletching, so now people can see you fletch and just call you a leech and get mad at you, but it is what it is. Also have my quick prayer set to piety, so I can just turn that on when I go in there, and this pretty much always lasts the whole game. This is also a safe death, by the way, so if you die, you don't lose hardcore status, you don't lose items that are kept in the death storage, so this is totally fine. Oh my god, that noob's picking up the rune arrows that were on the ground. Aw man, kill the spinners, FFS idiots. I miss this place so much, dude. Truly feels like home. After each game of Pest Control at the Veteran Lander, you get 5 points, and then you also get GP equal to 10 times your combat level. So right now, we get 1,230 GP per game, which doesn't sound like a lot, but because we're doing hundreds of games, it will add up a little bit. Okay, if we do some math here, at 27 games per hour, that comes out to about 33k GP per hour, so that's something. It's like 1 kill of any of the bosses I was doing. When making broad arrows, there's a lot of other things you could be doing besides pest control to pass the time, such as agility, or collecting seaweed spores while underwater, or Zaverin crafting if you don't mind sacrificing a few inventory slots, herbivore, and a bunch of other hunter methods too, and probably a bunch of other methods just in general, but those were the first ones that come to mind. For me though, pest control is perfect because those are the 2 skills that we have to get up right now. Usually Ironman, or specifically UIMs, would be doing birdhouse runs / farm runs in between games of pest control every hour or whenever you can, but we don't have any seeds to farm, and we don't have a use for any more hunter XP on the account, so we're just going straight through just pest control, just fletching, but there is no rush either way. I'm just enjoying the journey. Every day's a new adventure. See, I can never tell if people wear this stuff ironically at pest control. It has to be ironic, dude. There's no way there's anyone... I love it. I love it. Obviously not necessary at all, but I kind of want to flex my BGS at pest control, so I just grabbed it out of the stash unit here. And there is 80 fletching. We can now fletch magic short bows. And that is base level 80s on the UIM. I've been doing some math, and it seems like when I'm fletching while doing pest control, it's about like maybe 8 to 10,000 of these headless arrows / broad arrows per hour. But according to the wiki, you can do up to 42,800 per hour when normally fletching them at max efficiency, not doing pest control or anything else. And judging by the amount of headless arrows we've made so far, we're not even 1/4 of the way done, even though we're already at almost 1,500 pest points. And I've already done quite a bit of fletching while just standing around out here. We're still going to have a lot of fletching to do even after getting all the pest points that we need, and I don't plan to do this minigame beyond just getting the points for 85 prayer. So I've kind of just been going back and forth between doing some fletching out here and then going in to do a few games of pest control while fletching. Man, everyone's calling out their last game. I will be at that point very soon. Alright, over 3,000 pest points now. I'm going to call it a night here, and actually tonight is going to be the death mechanic changes, which I know by the time you're seeing this video, that was a long time ago, but that's going to be happening in like an hour or something. I'll be asleep. But I want to go over to Hispori and just see what we have in there. And here's Modash over here on Twitter saying that there shouldn't be any kind of bug. I mean, obviously, I guess they can't predict if a bug's going to happen, but all the items that are in a death storage should be perfectly fine. But because I'm a YouTuber, I'm able to like have evidence, I guess, for the video. So if something does go wrong and I wake up and all my stuff is gone, I have this video right here just in case. But I'm pretty sure things are going to be okay overall. I have a feeling though there's going to be some kind of rollback or something going wrong just based on things that have happened in the past. So I wouldn't be surprised, but I'll probably be asleep through it anyways. I'll see you back in the morning. We'll have new death mechanics, and hopefully our items will still be there. Alright, good morning. Let's see what the damage is. We're still here at Arno. There's a big change to death in this update. Let's see. Nice, okay, exactly as I expected. Okay, here's all the juicy drama though. So apparently it took Wooks like 10 minutes to find a bug where if you die outside the duel arena, you can just get your items from your gravestone while you're in the duel. Obviously that was hotfixed within a few minutes or whatever, but yeah, that is something that did happen. I don't know if the game actually went down for a bit though for that or any other issues. I swear I saw somewhere on Twitter that was down for a bit, but I don't know, whatever. I slept through all of it anyways. Let's get back to my favorite minigame in all of Gilnor, Pest Control. Okay, so the new items kept on death interface is really interesting because it actually works now. In the past, this thing has legit been broken since Old School came out, but now it actually works, and I assume it's relevant for UIM as well because UIMs don't keep 3 items on death. Oh, cool. Okay. Wow, this is all really interesting. I like this a lot. This is really well made. Although the protect item prayer doesn't do anything for UIM, so yeah. I also really like at the top there, it tells you if your items are being held in the depth storage. That could be extremely useful so you know to not die again. By the way, I did make a video on all the new death mechanics, but that was like, I guess probably a couple weeks ago at the time of this video going up. Alright, we're all done making the headless arrows now. 375,000. The XP is going to start going way up now, so I'll see you back in just a minute with 81 Fletching. Wait, let's see the XP drop as well. It was 15 XP for making headless arrows, and now it's 150 XP for each set of broad arrows. There we go, 81 Fletching. This is about to start going up very, very, very fast. Alright, Fletching is now above prayer, so I think we'll just quickly finish off this level, and then we can finally do Tears of Gothics for the first time in freaking, I don't know, almost a year probably, or like 9 months maybe. 82 Fletching. Woo! Amethyst arrows for my twisted bow. Alright, 176 tears gets us 11.6k per XP. That saves us like 10 or 11 games or something of pest control. Yo, there's that RuneLite virtual hit points level up message, 105. Alright, so first day of the new death mechanics being in the game. And I love this new death update, just like the way it's bringing the UIM community together. Everyone's just working together in the Discord to figure out the new UIM mechanics. Like for example, if you die on the UIM with a piece of barrows, it now stays on the ground at whatever percent it was at before, but if you drop the barrows to the ground, it still goes to 0%. And there's just so many like little niche things like that that we're all just kind of working together to figure out. And I just love this feeling of like exploration. This is like exactly what the game mode was meant for, just learning about the game. Another thing that someone mentioned that I thought was really interesting is that now early on, when you're going for the rogue's outfit, because untradables stay on the ground, you can just suicide and have your untradables stay on the ground, and you can get your rogue's outfit very easily early on, rather than having to wait for Zora to be unlocked so you can keep your untradables there. Okay, there's 83 Fletching. It's such a weird feeling getting all these levels so fast. There's a method here at Pest Control that I didn't try, but I want to share it with you guys. If you have the Candor and Headgear 1, there's a guaranteed chance of getting double logs when you cut any regular trees in the game. So you could chop these trees right here with the Candor and Headgear on, get double the logs, and then just spend your time repairing barriers here. I'm not sure if that method makes this more AFK, but I thought I'd share that in case anyone's interested in trying it out. Yo, 39, 95 points. You know what that means. It's actually not the last game, by the way. I entered in this stuff here. Apparently, I'll need 4,002 points after doing that one game of Tears of Gothics. Hopefully we can get an XP lamp or something to use on prayer just to make up for those 2 extra points so we don't have to play another game of Pest Control later. But for the most part, we made 971k in just straight up GP. And you can see we did get a pretty decent amount of these broad arrows done, or I guess we made all the headless arrows and then a decent amount of broad arrows as well. So it's kind of nice we were able to start feeding 2 birds with 1 scone. But at this point, I'll probably be averaging like 40,000 broad arrows per hour if I'm paying max attention. So that's still like 7 or 8 hours of just straight up making broad arrows out here. It's really late right now, so I'm about to go to bed. But what I want to do tomorrow is try going for like a 6-hour record just to see how much XP we can get in 6 hours before we get logged out. So we're going to save that for tomorrow. And I think at the same time during that 6-hour period, I'm also going to turn in all the prayer XP just to have that one big massive 6-hour drop once I refresh it. And as we're running or walking to put the BGS back in the stash unit, there's 84 Fletching. Alright, I'm ready for a full fun day of Fletching. I got the report button plugin turned on, and you can put like a login timer on there or whatever thing you want. So I got the login timer just to keep track of how long we're logged in, even though there is like a 5-minute warning and a 4-hour warning as well that will appear here. But I'm gonna log off, log back in, and then get started Fletching right away, and we'll see how much XP we can get in one 6-hour period. I will be seeing you back with each level. 85, 86, 87, kind of missed it, 88, 89, kind of a milestone coming in here, 250 million XP. And while we're here right now, I just want to use up all the points so I don't forget to later. And look at these beautiful XP drops coming in. I don't want to misclick and accidentally buy the wrong thing, but wait, that's the level right there. That's 82 prayer. This is like the best dopamine rush when you're turning in all these points, getting those big XP drops. Prayer is such a fast skill, man. I don't know why people say it's so hard for Ultimate Ironman. And there's 83 prayer, 84. And the last bit of prayer XP here, are we gonna get the level? Yes, just barely. 85 prayer. We can now go back to Fletching and not waste any XP because we still have like 37 minutes to go. And it's looking like we're probably going to get a pretty good record for the 6-hour log. Look at that, 21 mil per XP per hour. So easy, dude. This is just absolutely insane seeing all these levels in the chat box. 2175 total level as well. Like, I haven't gained this many levels in a day since, like, I don't even know. It's been a really, really long time. Look at that, man. Just admire it. Alright, I'll stop sucking my own dick now. Hey, we got 90 Fletching before the 6-hour log as well. Let's finish up this last minute strong. Oh, we're almost there. 6 hours. I guess we get a few extra seconds for free as well. And we should have hit 2.3 million XP. Okay. It's still going. I'm sure we'll be logged down in a few seconds though. There we go. There's the 6-hour log, and here's the total XP gained in those 6 hours. I'm gonna go refresh the high scores on Temple OSRS, and we'll see where we're at. Hey, UIM rank 1 6 hour for Fletching on the Temple OSRS leaderboards. I'm gonna go pee, and then we'll finish off level 91. Alright, there we go, 91 Fletching, and I'm just going to quickly finish up using the last of these. And all of the broad arrows are made, we can drop those. And we'll just go do the 2 tasks that we were training these skills for. So this one right here is to restore 85 prayer points right here. And then the other one we have to do is fletch dragon dart tips. And for that, we have to make a dragon fruit pie. And luckily, I made sure to have at least one, I think there's actually a couple, dragon fruit trees planted. Beautiful. It is alive. Okay, we got the cooking cape on, so we are guaranteed to properly cook this. Now, once we take a bite, it's going to boost our Fletching by +4 because we need 95. Now we can make all these into dragon darts, which I will just drop over to the main. I'm a freaking idiot. Oh no, we were supposed to do that in a certain area, weren't we? We'll do that later, it's fine. It's not hard to make a dragon fruit pie. We'll get a dragon dart tip somewhere at some point. Not a big deal. We still have to get the Caliphate Queen head either way, so could be a long time till we get this done. I think there's a method where you can have someone PK you in the wildy and certain items get turned into GP. So I think I could have my main PK this account and get like a little bit of GP off the broad arrows. Like, I don't think it's much, like 2 GP each maybe or something. I don't really care about money that much, so I'm just gonna end up dropping these on the ground and just leave them. They're not tradable. Slayer Masters do stock broad arrows in their shop, but you can't sell your broad arrows back to the shop. Broad arrows have no use to me. Like, even if I had a T-bow, I'd still be using rune arrows, or if I was using a magic short bow, I'd still be using rune arrows. I don't need to like AFK sand crabs or anything. I already have 99 range. These are gonna get dropped. A nice beautiful orange stack on the ground. Oh yeah, and these only alch for 36 GP each, so it's not even worth alching them. And then same thing with the U-logs. I don't need these because I don't need any more Fletching XP. I don't think I'll be doing any more birdhouse runs. Oh, speaking of birdhouse runs, we got base 85s now with Hunter and Prayer, both 85, but I can't think of any uses for these. So I'm going to be dropping these dragon darts and the U-logs over to the main. There we go. Let's see, what else is there to show? So we got 124 combat with those prayer levels, and I was only using defense style the whole time, so I gained a bunch of defense XP. If we put this tracker up here, we can see that in total, doing all this pest control, we gained 814k defense XP. When we got level 82 prayer, that gives us a +1 extra prayer point gained each time we take a sip of prayer pot, so that's kind of cool too. I'm kind of bored, so I'm just going to try out this. I've never caught crystal implings before, but it's very easy to get these impling jars just using the Hunter Kit spell, so first ever crystal impling caught. Nice. Need 90 Hunter to catch them bare hand. Bruh. What? Wait, what does this thing do? It's my second. That's good prayer XP too, actually. What does this thing even do? What the? That's so funny, dude. That's a 1 out of 128. Gives you a 10% chance to not use a charge when using crystal equipment. So it's not really relevant for me. I'm just going to drop that over to the main. That's 768k right there. See, 2 crystal implings. Ooh, that one literally just spawned. Oh, nice. Huh, that was fast. 3. Alright, cool. Now let's do it for real in the Bedouin camp. So 1 out of 18 for dragon dart tips. I literally catch 3 and I get the elven signet and then the dragon dart tips and more prayer XP. This game is honestly just spoon feeding me so hard. Yo, there's a collection log slot for it too. Okay, now I'm hyped about that actually. Before it was just like, money for the main, but this is really cool. Okay, we're in the right place now, right? So I'll eat the pie. and then make it, there we go, now we got the task done. Very nice. We can finally wrap up the video in peace. Oh, one more thing I just want to quickly mention because these bones just remind me of it. There is a new method, possibly the new meta actually, for training prayer for UIM. The method is pretty much just using the will the altar, which wasn't really a method before because your untradables would stay on you when you died. But now that untradables drop to the ground when you die, it actually makes the method viable. And the method is pretty much just using the will the altar. Ideally, I guess you get noted dragon bones from Hydra. You would unnote those, suicide at the Prifna spawn point by using the locator orb, and then the guard would finish you off there. Not like that. You'd run to the house portal here, then you'd have the Gorak teleport in your POH, run to the altar, and then suicide again, pick up the bones, unnote them, suicide again at Prifnas, and then repeat the process, if that makes sense. I'll probably try out that method way later on, but I hope that very basic explanation at least kind of makes sense, and I think it was Taxed that figured that out. That's a UIM. There's some things to point out here in the high scores now too. So here's the UIM high score rankings. Fletching moved from rank 834 to 225, and now with 2177 total, we're now in the top 100 overall for UIM. Defense also reached top 100. Prayer is rank 186 now. Yeah, I think it's everything I wanted to point out, so very happy with the progress coming along here, seeing some more double-digit numbers. I love it. Yo, getting hype over high scores on a dead game mode. Let's freaking go. Well, I think that was the last skilling grind that we have to do on this account. From here on out, it should probably be pretty much all PVM. Minus like making supplies, like training herblore and little things like that. But for the most part, we could finally start playing the game. I swear I say that like every video. Next video, we're going to be going back somewhere that we haven't been for a little while, but I have spent quite a bit of time there in the past on this account. There was a hint a little bit earlier in the video, so if you saw the hint, you saw it, and you'll know what's coming up next. But with that said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you again next time.